everybody. Gonna do that again. Doesn't do anything. As I mentioned in a previous video, that does nothing. It's just a habit from the eating. Oh my goodness, what? Oh, that's a shadow. Got a lot of filth on these things nowadays. What is it? The Camp Yellow soda? It's an Italian soda. They put the aluminum foil over that. I've been drinking straight from the lid without those aluminum foil things for the past 30 odd years. So if I haven't died yet, I'm not going to. Today, video request from a guy called Kay. We'll just leave it at that. We're not going to mention any names. Want me to put together a video, and you too can have me put together a video or consult you for a small fee, unless it's a very complicated problem, and then it'll be a not so small fee. But look up assholeconsulting.com. Got the website up. Take a look at it. It's really cool. Hey, Captain, I've been a long-time reader of your blog before Chateau Heartise was Chateau Heartise. I bought Worthless, and I enjoyed it so much I bought Behind the Housing Crash in paperback, no less. I really feel I'm at a loss in life. I'm incredibly broke. I've done 1 year of university trying to get into nursing, but now looking more into it, it seems that the whole urgent need in nursing is very overblown. Even a cursory glance online suggests that job market for new grads in nursing is quite bad. Most jobs are advertising that they are specifically not looking for new grads in the U.S., and I'm not too sure things are better where I live in Canada. I was looking into other useful fields, but as this very informative article in IEEE, I think that's Industrial Electrical Engineering, I forget, points out, even that is going down the tubes due to this massive immigration of skilled workers. They can pay nothing in the States, and he provides a list, or a link. I guess I just don't know what to look into. It seems no matter what I look up, everyone says the market is shaky or shit in every field. I don't have the vision or capital to be an entrepreneur. Hell, it seems even trade jobs are becoming extremely hard to get into. No one is willing to take on apprentices anymore, as it largely bleeds them money. Do you have any advice? Sincerely, Kay. And yes, I do, and this is pertinent to many young students aspiring, attending, or about to graduate, just young people in general. And that is, yes, the job market sucks, and across all fields. There are some very small, shiny silver linings in the cloud, but by and large, the economy sucks. And this is not opinion, this is not, mathematically, look it up. Back in the olden days, in those evil Nazi racist, waspy 40s and 50s, our economy was growing at 4.25% on average. Today, we're only growing at it was 4.5%, now we're only at like 2.5%, 2.25%. Today. And without economic growth, you're right, there's not only going to be as many jobs, they're not going to be quality jobs, and they're not going to be high-paying jobs. You throw in a combination that now every kid has their bachelor's degree, you're screwed. You're screwed. And so the first thing I would recommend is accepting that this is whatever bullshit your teachers, your parents, and the media told you about, follow your heart and the money will follow, blah, blah, blah. That's precisely what it was. It was bullshit, right? That reality is not going to manifest itself. So that's the first thing you have to do is, and it sucks. It sucks. It's the most depressing thing in the world because I had to do it. I went to school, got straight A's, graduated 6 months early, paid my way through college, paid for everything. I had 4 internships. I was fucking top dog. I think I got 2 A minuses, and I knew like the 4 people that graduated that had quote-unquote a higher GPA. So I thought I was for sure in. I'm going to make it. My problems are over. Nope. The entire banking industry is corrupt. The housing bubble, well, first came the dot-com bubble, then came the housing bubble. The corruption was entrenched, and I had to accept the new reality. And the new reality is that what I had worked so hard for was not going to be reality. All right, that was not going to be my reality. My reality was something different. And an element of scariness, you don't know what it's going to be then afterwards. Like you, at least when you're in college, you have a plan. And I remember I was very confident. And the most I was ever relaxed, the most I didn't worry about my future was when I was in college and just slaving away, knocking out 90 to 100-hour work weeks with the school. It wasn't until after I got out of it and all of a sudden it became apparent there was not going to be this plan. That was a long time. That was almost a decade of wandering in the wilderness trying to find things out. So the first thing you got to do is accept that new reality. Okay, you're not going to have it as good as the baby boomers. You're not going to have it as good as the World War II generation, minus that whole Great Depression and World War II thing. It's just going to suck. Now, there are, as I said before, some places you can go. Again, I'm a big fan of the military. They're going to, again, nobody is going to take you seriously until you're at least 35. At least. So I don't know if it's even wise counsel for young people to really try hard to get a career right now. No one's hiring. It's pointless to go into debt and take on and get a degree if no one's going to hire you anyway. And as you pointed out, yeah, even some of the STEM fields and these traditionally good fields of employment, even those aren't hiring terribly much. So here's the couple silver linings I'd recommend. Military. I know you said the trades that no one's taking on apprenticeships. I understand that, but you know what? Just knock it out. Get a trade, and then go work in the Bakken oil field. It's going to suck during winter. It's going to suck during summer. But you know what? If you just live cheaply out there, you sock away a ton of money, you can work up enough money to pay for a small house somewhere. And that is going to put your finances in a much better situation very early on. If you did want to buy a house, I don't necessarily recommend it. I'm just saying you could build up like $100,000, maybe even $200,000 if you knock out working 3-4 years of the Bakken oil field. And yeah, it's going to be grueling hard work. It's not going to be fun, but you know what? What else have you got to do? At least you'd have a story. At least you went out there and you're, for the amount of pain and suffering you'll suffer early on, you're going to make decades for the handful of years, the 3, 4, maybe even 5 years you suffer out in the Bakken oil field. You're going to make 3, 4, 5 decades all that much easier. So there's that. And then what else? I would then also don't get your degree, but incrementally get it. Because if you're lucky, you could find an employer that's going to pay for it, at least subsidize it. But I know, that's the hard part. What do you start when you just finish 1 year of school? So if you're broke, yeah, you're no good broke. You can't go to school with no money and taking on debt. You got to work. And that's not necessarily the worst thing. Certainly better than these idiots all getting their liberal arts degrees, going into debt, and racking up living expenses via debt that they're going to have to pay back, and still work the crappy job you're probably going to have to work. So I would, do whatever you can. Work at Home Depot, work at some place that maybe where they'll teach trades, or there's some training on the side. Whatever it is, I'd say work, and then maybe take 2 classes or a summer class or something. Slowly earn your way, because again, I'm going to assume you're 22. You got 13 years until anyone starts taking you seriously. There's no point. There's no point in getting a degree early. So amortize it over the course of the next decade. Slowly get it. And that way you won't cripple yourself with debt, and you won't, not to mention the sleep you lose and all this, so there's that. Finally, minimalism. You have to practice minimalism, because as you're finding out, there's 2 sides to money. What you earn and what you spend. You don't really control what you earn. You can influence it a little bit. You can get really good degrees like petroleum engineering, or go into the trades and go work in far-off places. You can do that. But it still is outside of your control. You only influence, I'd say especially when you're younger, you only influence how much you make by about 10 to 15%. It's not until you're older and that you got all those stupid credentials that people start taking you seriously. Not to mention, I think people become a bit more assertive when they're older. They don't tolerate bullshit. But that is, you influence it. You don't even control it. What you do control, 100% that is underneath your control, is how much you spend. And that is where minimalism comes in. And I remember, now, minimalism, we're not talking, I just get rid of cable. I mean, you got to cut it down to the bone. I remember, I had this, it's going to sound stupid, but it shows you. My mom had given me a bottle of shampoo that she wasn't going to use anymore, and it was this shampoo, whatever, it was a free bottle of shampoo. I took it. Well, it also dried out my scalp, so I had constant dandruff and constant itching. I wouldn't let it. I want to go get a new bottle. You want to know why? Because the $4, that's why. That's expensive. I remember I ate at McDonald's twice when I was in college, and I never ordered a pizza because I couldn't afford it. Right? Now, I graduated with no debt, and I actually had enough money that I could afford myself a car and the occasional nice thing. But minimalism is what is completely under your control. So, room with a buddy, Get yourself a studio apartment. See if you can sleep on somebody's couch. Don't buy new cars. Always get a used crap car that you learn how to fix. Treat it like an opportunity. Don't drive far for work. Walk to work if you can. Save the money on gas. Get a bike. Pedal to work. Don't pay for parking. All this, and you know what? Life is going to suck. But unlike all the pampered little, prissy suburbanite kids who have mommy and daddy pampering their way through school and life, you're going to become an interesting person. You're not going to be cookie cutter. You're not going to be boring. You're not going to be one of those freaking frat boy douchebags with their hats on backwards, getting drunk on beer, cheering on the freaking Twins game. All right? You're going to have a much more interesting and esoteric life, a much more interesting experience. So that's what I do. Just strap yourself in and get ready for it, because you don't have a choice. That's the key thing. Don't fight it. Just accept it. It's not that bad, but yeah, it is going to suck a little bit. But taking it head on like that, you're going to ensure that your future is a lot easier, rather than ignoring it or being ignorant and just living in la-la land, going $100,000 in debt as you get your freaking law degree because your English degree didn't work out. Of course, nationally, everyone calls. They fucking know. They know when I do this. Oh, it's call Aaron. Anyway, so hopefully that answered your question. Yeah, I wish I could lie to you and say, everything's going to be great, everything's going to be fine, but I'm not a Democrat, I'm not Barack Obama, I'm not in the mainstream media, and I'm not your professors trying to screw you over to get more money out of you. I'm just the guy. Plus, I already got the money. Anyway, yeah, anyone else want more requested videos, please send them my direction, because that just means less work, or more work for me, but less not having to go work a real job. Toodles.